Okay, so let's talk about one of the most scariest moments in all of Stranger Things. And no, I'm not talking about Vecna, anything in the Upside Down, or anything you might be thinking about, or you might be thinking about it as well, like I did. I'm talking about the Hawkins town. So before we get into all of this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. Hopefully, we can get there. My goal is to get there before the end. Well, before the beginning of volume 2. Can we get to 25,000? That would be insane if we can. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. But let's talk about the satanic panic going on in Hawkins right now. So, pretty much throughout all of, I would say, Stranger Things, the series, we've heard little ins and outs about the satanic panic going on. And this is something that actually did happen around this time as well, and it was a huge thing. Now, satanic panic is something that's been around forever, as long as humanity pretty much had trust issues with one another. And one of the bigger moments in time as well we can think of is the Salem witch trials. And that could be a whole series that I do want to make in the future, so stay tuned for that. I do want to talk about the satanic panic that did happen in the 70s, 80s. And this is definitely because it's really tied into the Stranger Things lore right now that we're seeing in season 4. And I think in volume 2, we're going to see this reach epic proportions. So I do want to talk about it. And yeah, let's get right into it. So pretty much we see that in this Stranger Things season 4, volume 1, that Eddie Munson was very much so pinned for what happened to Chrissy and all of the other murders we see happen. And one of the main reasons is because of the way that Eddie dresses, the way Eddie is seen to everybody else in the town. He plays Dungeons and Dragons, which was a big thing with the Satanic Panic in real life as well. And I will be doing a full series on this pretty soon, so stay tuned for that, where I'm going to cover everything as well. And Dungeons and Dragons was a big thing that really drove this narrative back in the 80s. And it was just insane what came out of it. So definitely look forward to that series from me pretty soon. But we see that Jason is very much so inciting the mob during the night when the police are talking about these murders that aren't really solved and really don't have a logical explanation at the moment. But it's just like in human nature to want to find the answers. And so I think they go to the most occult, like different outlook of it all. And since Eddie was dressed so different and Eddie acted different from a lot of the other people in the town, it was easy to say, well, it was the outsider probably that did all of this. And this is something that we saw a lot happen during that time as well with mob mentality. And you could even say McCarthyism and all of that. It was definitely a time where if you looked anything different from everybody else, you could actually be blamed for things like this. And Eddie listens to heavy metal. He plays Dungeons and Dragons. He wears a Hellfire Club shirt. So pretty easy target here. And that's why we see that the town targets the Hellfire Club, because they were very much so the oddball out. Even though they weren't doing anything wrong or any of that, it was just the fact that they look so different. And I think that makes this really scary because Vecna, all of this, whatever, you take him out and all of that, right, in the series. But let's think about it. Once Vecna is defeated, if they are defeated by 11 and everything goes back to normal, what does the upside down, like, how is that explained to the town, right? That this all happened because of the upside down Vecna. Like, what explanation will be given to the normal people that don't see all of this as something that is true, and they will think it's all made believe? So where does this leave Eddie once it's all said and done, as he is still being sought after? Like, how are these murders ever going to be explained to the townspeople? And I think that's what's really going to be interesting to see come the end of this season, as well as the beginning of the new season, if indeed Eddie makes it or not. And so Eddie Munson's also very much so based on true life, like people that were sort of committed for crimes that they didn't commit, which are the Memphis Three. And I will be talking about that in my upcoming series I will be doing. So stay tuned for that as well. So I'm interested to see what it is that will actually come at the end of all of this. I think that the whole thing with Jason and the mob is something that maybe we're all forgetting about. I forgot to talk about it really, but the more I thought about it and kept seeing clips about it, the more I wanted to say that that is definitely going to be the biggest thing I think they're all going to have to face, because they all know about the upside down, all of this, but most of the people in this town don't really know about it, and they're living their day-to-day lives like nothing like this ever would happen or exist when it's all right there, but they choose to not believe in it. And now they're really seeing more that Eddie is this sort of ritualistic murderer of sorts. And so I don't know how they can possibly get everybody to believe that he isn't, and sort of turn this whole thing around for him now. So that's why I think that Eddie's sacrifice might just be the only way for him to ever truly be free. And that very sounds much so dark to say, but I think that's going to be the logical conclusion to it all. But I'm still interested in seeing it. So, like I said, I think that the mob that Jason is inciting here is definitely very much so one to fear, and it's going to be insane to see how they even make it out of all of this. I'm definitely going to be excited to see if they are able to clear Eddie's name, but I just don't see how it's cleared unless everybody gets to see the upside down. But the Satanic Panic elements thrown in the season really drive up the stakes. We've never seen them like this. We would see it a little bit here and there in the first couple of seasons, but on this one, I think they really drive it home. And I think it has to do a lot with the time as well that we're seeing this be set in, because it was sort of the height and peak of it all. And like I said, these panics come and go from time in history. It's even seen today. We can even go look at examples where we hear these same talking points with video games and other stuff as well in the media that are very much so painting this sort of like weird, don't trust these type of people. They don't really fit in. So let's keep an eye out on them. And so this sort of outcasting is very dangerous, because then we see that tons of other people who look like this and all of that aren't really doing much. And, it sets a very slippery slope, I think. So I'm going to talk about this a lot in this series that I'm working on. It's one of the series that I've been very excited to do for this channel since Stranger Things came out. I was inspired to do it, and I want to do more of this reporting as well, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Satanic Panic in Stranger Things Season 4, and what do you think about it. Let me know if you want to see me do more in-depth series about things like this. That's something I'm interested in, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, if you haven't already subscribe, hit that notification bell. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. I want to get there before Volume 2 comes out. We're so close to 22,000. I believe we can get there. I'm going to go very, very hard on the videos this month. So I'm trying to get to 25,000. So hopefully we can do that. But anyways, as always, I'll see all of you next time. Make sure you follow me on the social medias. Culture Elixir is the name. TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff. As always, stay safe, stay positive.